Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to another episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark? Last week was The Tale of the Nightly Neighbours, and that was another good story. It was a Betty Ann story, so they're pretty much always guaranteed to be pretty good. And it was about the family that moved in across the road, that were only ever seen at night, and they may or may not have been vampires. Spoilers for those who've not watched it. If you haven't, go watch it. It's all on YouTube. It basically turned out that the mum and the dad characters were servants to the vampire who was the kid, and so they're pretty much guaranteed that they weren't vampires. Apologise again if the face is very shiny on this side. It's very bright outside. My curtains are shut, but I don't know what to do lighting wise. I don't like if I sit near a window to get natural light. It just is way too bright at the moment. Hopefully it won't look too bad on the recording, but if it does, I apologise. Like, but shiny face. Here we are. This episode is the tale of the Sorcerer's Apprentice. Other than sounding kind of like a Harry Potter book, I don't really know what it's about. Sorcerer's Apprentice, so it's about probably a kid who maybe becomes like a magician's assistant. Although I know there's an episode later in the show called The Tale of the Magician's Assistant. So I'm guessing it's maybe not the exact same kind of story. I was hoping it was going to be an Eric one because we're on episode 10. No. We're on episode 9, and there's been no Eric stories as of yet. But Gary tends to tell magic stories, so I feel it's going to be a Gary story again, but we'll see. Let's just jump into the tale of the Sorcerer's Apprentice to see what it's about.
There it is. It's a grave. It's probably some
Grave?
stuff. Yeah, right. There's only one reason why you buried
This episode's taking a dark turn already. Or they said it was a prank. Yeah, oh good. I was going to say, if they found a body, that's been super dark.
It was cruel and immature.
Hey,
Look at his cut off sleeves. Fashion.
It wasn't funny.
It's a Gary story.
Who's going tonight?
Oh, maybe not.
Me.
Oh,
Another gore fest.
Betty Ann again? No, I'm not complaining, but bloody hell. Give someone else a chance, Betty Ann.
This charm may be more than you bargained for. Submitted for the approval of the Midnight Society.
I call the story
The Tale of the Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Yeah, whoever decided the order of the airing of these episodes.
The story takes place today, but it began years ago.
Bucket. Hello, bad snake tattoo. Just leaving something under the water, maybe buried, so no one can find it. Okay, that's all we need to know from the past. I'm guessing that she's going to become an important character because she had the snake tattoo.
And he wasn't so great with schoolwork either.
You can't speak to him, you know you're allowed to talk. Ooh, aggressive.
Mr. Burkham, you are sinking to perdition.
One of Dean's
Hello.
friends was Alex, but it was a friendship about to be put to the ultimate test.
Oh dear.
Thanks.
And one of them becomes the Sorcerer's Apprentice.
I don't get it, Al. I can't catch a break.
Hey, if you keep thinking that way, you're always gonna get dumped on.
True, self-fulfilling prophecy.
I'm trying.
Hey, I have a feeling your luck's gonna change soon.
I'm getting the vibe of him. Have you ever watched A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, Freddy's Revenge?
Cultures class, there was
I'm getting the
special
same
guest,
sort of vibe
a
from
famous
him and
archaeologist
the main character from
named
that film.
Dr. Oliver.
Archaeology, the study of historic or prehistoric peoples by analysis of their artifacts, inscriptions, and monuments to cut out the hearts of slaves for their sacrifices.
Oh, wow, that guy was not a teenager.
It's used for salt,
He had a big mustache. He was about 40.
but as a weapon. Was recently excavated from an ancient Babylonian sorcerer's temple.
Are you Jafar?
Inscriptions say that this scepter belonged to Goth, a
Goth.
particularly nasty magician who enslaved thousands to do
Goth
his evil bidding.
or Jafar?
The writings say that following Goth will bring you
Goth.
incredible fortune and good luck.
They could have done a better job on that snake's head.
Will lead to your destruction.
It looks a bit cheap. Sorry guys, but it does. Okay, so Goth is going to make an appearance, I'm presuming.
Don't be afraid to touch.
My guess
Maybe
so
I found
far
more
is that...
comfort. That's what I'm here for.
Alright, creep. That he's going to become like a servant of Goth, maybe? Just from the episode title. Don't glow, don't glow, don't glow, don't glow. They're glowing. I knew that was going to happen. What? So he's been possessed almost. So he seems to be following the same sort of path that girl at the beginning did. He's getting that. Was it like a rock that she buried? That put in the water? I mean, okay, not a rock, but whatever that is. I find it a little hard to believe that after what, say 40 years near enough, that no one found that in an open space in the ground.
Yes, Mr. Burkham.
Here's my test, Miss Crenshaw.
Is this supposed to be funny?
Is there a problem, Miss Crenshaw?
Oh.
No problem.
In that test you have to fill out the periodic table of elements? Piss off. I have no chance. But yeah, he's now becoming a bad boy. He's obviously got some sort of psychic powers.
Maybe you think I'm useless, just like everybody else.
What? What's wrong with
Don't.
you?
Nothing's wrong.
What are you doing?
Everything is finally right.
I thought I was going to hit her then.
Do it. Dean?
Okay, so he's stealing chemicals from the science lab. Maybe this is like an early 90s thing, but in our school, then whoa, then everyone would have just been a huge ass cabinet
Acid?
full of like really poisonous chemicals in the room. It would all have been like locked away, probably in separate rooms in like a safe. I don't know. What is going on here?
It creates a pathway.
Are they calling for Goth?
Together they create the mystic vapors.
Yeah.
The return of Goth is at hand.
Ooh. So the staff kind of possesses people and kind of turns them onto Goth's cause almost. He's somehow become a leader. It's kind of like a cult, isn't it? And these chemicals are somehow caused to call Goth forward. Is that what was in the water? Oh. That makes... Oh, hello.
I have waited centuries for an apprentice such as you, young one.
The acolytes have been gathered. We are ready.
Excellent.
I quite like the effect of the floating head.
My young apprentice.
It looks pretty good for the early 90s. I feel like as a kid this would have freaked me out. That's twice. Twice now. She's been watching and made noise. She's useless. I've been sneaky.
It's that scepter thing she brought. It's got Dean hypnotized or something.
Relax, child. There's no reason to be alarmed. Join us and join God.
Hello, Alex.
That was a nice shot. Alex.
Don't be scared. I'm in charge. And I like it.
You're not in charge. It's this God.
Goth has given me the power. And I'm using it to bring him back.
Dean!
Everyone's had a Goth phase.
Hurry. The moon will rise soon.
She's so useless. That's 3 times she's been tried to be sneaky. And every time she's either been caught or noticed.
Are you crazy?
I gave you one chance to escape, Alex. I won't give you another.
Alex.
There's a place in this school not many people know about. It's been closed off for more than 25 years.
Okay, question. They were in the school a minute ago, and then they rode their bikes, and now they're still in the school.
She was down here,
Where did they ride their bikes to?
totally out of her mind.
That was the girl from the beginning, right? That's going to take a lot of acid to fill. Are you going to tell me you've got enough acid to fill a swimming pool? I don't think so. So they've got two barrels of acid. I think maybe I need a tiny bit of liquid.
My master. Nightshade.
Demon, stop it or I'll smash this!
Too late. I told you too late.
Rise, mighty Goth. Your apprentice calls to you.
Oh my god. That's quite a creepy image, actually.
In the dark,
There's something really creepy about that image, I don't like it.
take my rightful place on the throne of humanity. Bow before me, or feel my wrath.
No, go back!
You
Oh,
are the one who
hello.
interferes. Do not interfere. The girl is mine.
But why did throwing the ball return him back?
Victim of my reign.
Alex, the chlorine.
I'm still impressed that 2 barrels of acid managed to fill that whole swimming pool with the right kind of vapours.
In the pool.
But he has the ability to stop you with his powers. Or not.
Your human science has no hope of. What is happening?
Alright, Betty Ann, I think we need to have a chat.
But how did you know the chlorine would stop him?
It was on
'Cause
Crenshaws'
conveniently-
chemistry exam. Chlorine kills bacteria, and the leaves were organic, so I figured it would zap them.
I mean, it makes sense, but it's kind of convenient that this place that had been shut for years had a barrel of chlorine just next to the pool. They should really have broke that.
I'm afraid we
I
failed.
knew she was up to something.
But I planted jewels in high schools all over the country. We'll have another chance. They thought I was mad.
I had a feeling all along that she was the girl from the beginning. Okay, so she's the apprentice.
I smell a sequel.
Yeah. World's doomed.
Well, on that cheerful note, I declare this meeting of the Midnight Society closed.
Okay, the first thing I want to say is I'm surprised it's a Betty Ann story again. I feel like we had her last week, and yeah, she's not had another story since, other than last week, since the second episode, but this is only a 13 episode season, and this is now 3 of Betty Ann. I'm not complaining because she normally tells the best stories. I don't think this one was the best one, but we'll get to that. But I just feel like whoever decided the order of the episodes and what they were going to be broadcast needed to kind of maybe pay better attention to who tells what story and when. I know that there is a slightly different broadcast order for season 1. On the Wikipedia and the fan wiki and the broadcast dates and stuff, and when I had season 1 on DVD, like when I was a kid, or years and years and years ago, this was I'm watching them in the order that, you know, it is on there. But I know that on YouTube, on the official Are You Afraid of the Dark channel, and somewhere else that I've looked, there's a slightly different order. Please let me know down below if you know why there's a different order, what the purpose of that is. I don't fully understand it. But I know maybe in that order, the kind of spacing out of who tells what story when possibly makes more sense. Because yeah, having another Betty Ann story after last week, when we still haven't had Eric's story, got 4 episodes left, 5 episodes left. So we've got 4 episodes left after this one. I'm hoping at least one of them is Eric. There's 7 members of the Midnight Society. There's Betty Ann, Eric, Gary, Kirsten, Frank, David, and Kiki. So they could have all had 2 stories and one person. No. So they can't even all have 2 stories, because that would be 14 episodes. So it would make sense to me that everyone gets 2 except maybe one person gets 1, which I'm presuming is going to be Eric. But then it's odd that they would have someone who tells 3 with such a short season. So I'm intrigued to get to the end of the season, and when I do my whole ranking of every episode from season 1, I'm going to look at each person and what stories they've told, and I'll be interested to see who gets the short stick and doesn't get many episodes, or gets, at the minute, Eric's had none, so we'll see. In terms of this episode, yeah, it wasn't my favourite. For Betty Ann's stories, I kind of expected a little bit more. I don't know what it was, but it just didn't... I wasn't connected to the story as much. But it was good. It was enjoyable. I don't know. I felt like there was quite a lot of plot holes or things that were just very convenient, maybe, for me. Like the chlorine being by the pool, and the thing that the teacher, the archaeologist lady, the apprentice buried years ago, or put in the water years ago, in this open pit that was just never found in the 40 years-ish that it was under there. Kind of a bit convenient. And the archaeologist lady said, I buried jewels in lots of different schools, but she still had the jewel from that school. So why couldn't she just gone to another school? Maybe it's because as she was waiting for this kind of storyline to kind of kick in, she was going off doing demonstrations at other schools, and other people looked into the staff and become kind of the leader of the thing in their school, and would have maybe tried to make a pathway for Goth at the same time. I don't know. The best part of the episode was probably Goth. He was quite cool. I quite liked the visuals of him. The floating head was quite good, but also when he was walking out of the pool, there was something to me that was kind of creepy about that image. I don't really know fully why it creeped me out so much, but it just kind of did. So I liked him as a villain. I'd have liked to know more about his intentions and his motives, and what Goth was hoping to achieve by coming to Earth and creating these people that basically his servants that were going to bring him to Earth. Unless I missed it, there was never a full explanation on what he was going to do once he got here. Presumably he was going to take over the Earth, but what that consisted of, we don't know. I think part of the problem I had with the episodes as well was, like, the main guy was alright. Like, we didn't really get to know him much as the shy guy till he became this kind of servant, so I was never attached to him personally. We spent more time with Alex, but she was so bad at being sneaky. Like, the first time when she was looking at the group in the cellar, she got caught and then she had to run away. Then she went back when Dean was calling forth Goth. She knocked something over, got seen and caught. Third time, when they were all outside the school again, or the warehouse, or whatever, where they're picking up the acid, she got caught then as well. So it's like, you're meant to be... she's like the character that we're rooting for, because she's going to put a stop to everything. And every single time she gets caught, and the only thing she actually does is throw the ball into the pool, which for some reason made Dean become normal again. I didn't fully understand that, because when she took the ball out of the staff, the kids, except for Dean, kind of slumped to the ground. Why was Dean still under his control? Maybe because he was the first, I don't know. That doesn't really make a lot of sense. Why throwing the ball into the pool then makes Dean come back to normal doesn't make sense, because they didn't break, I don't think, because it seemed like that the lady then picked it back up again, but that could have been a different jewel. And then on top of that, Goth had the power to kind of put his hand or look towards Dean or whatever it was, and it froze Dean in his tracks. But yeah, when Alex was trying to put in the chlorine into the pool, Goth just watched it happen. Is that because Dean was under his control sort of with the staff and Alex wasn't? I don't know, but then Goth's powers weren't that strong. I don't know. To me, this episode, whilst I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed seeing the change of Dean's character, and Alex trying to help, and Goth was cool, I liked him as a character, his visuals were cool, there was just a lot of plot holes to me in this episode, which kind of really brought it down in my estimations, which for a Betty Ann story is surprising, because she's normally got quite a tight story. They're normally a little bit silly, like with the Nightly Neighbours was silly, but they're normally pretty tight stories, so that surprised me. The Betty Ann story, to me, was okay, but probably in the lower half of my favourite episodes so far. That was the tale of the Sorcerer's Apprentice. Let me know what you think of this episode in the comments below, guys. Please leave me some comments, because this series is just not getting a lot of love right now, and I'm enjoying doing this, and I'm probably going to do all 7 seasons, because I love this show. Even on episodes where I don't find them my favourite, I love doing it, I enjoy it. Please leave me some love down below. Leave me some comments, let me know what episodes you're looking forward to, what episodes you like, what episodes you don't, what your thoughts are of this one. As always, guys, my name is Scott. I hope you guys will well and take care of yourselves. There's some videos to my right if you like my content, I don't know why I did that. Just videos to my right. If you like my content, please take a look. You might be interested in seeing some more stuff. Take care of yourselves, guys, and I'll see you all in the next episode, The Tale of Jake and the Leprechaun. Thanks for watching, guys.